started. It is lovely to have so many of you here, especially we're doing a new series this evening specifically for sucklers. So it is really great to have you all. I hope you can see my screen. I'll just make sure I'm showing the right one. Yeah, wonderful. So we're going to kick off in just a minute. So get comfortable, kick the dog off the sofa, grab yourself a cup of tea, whatever you feel like. I'm sure the professional outfits have really nice like background music playing now. You know, people who you know. Yeah. Anyway, that really is a name small talk when we start into that. But it is wonderful to have so many of you here. So if you're on Facebook, welcome as well. I need to find a way for me to see the Facebook chat, which I think I can do here. The advantages of having two screens. So we'll kick off in just a minute, guys. Right, okay. So anyway, welcome. It's so wonderful to have you all. There are loads of new names. My name is James. I am a beef and sheep farmer down in West Sussex. We're tenants. I also work for Breedr as Breedr's product manager. So I, along with a chap called Chris Freeman, make sure the stuff that you use works, that it's useful, and that it's adding value to your business. I've been with Breedr for 2 years now, and so it is really great to see so many of you have come on that journey with us and helped make Breedr better. So if you are a Breedr user and if you've got feedback about the app, email me. My email is james@breedr.co, and it'd be great to get your thoughts. If you don't already know what Breedr is, you've seen this advert on Facebook and you're wondering what you've turned up for. Breedr is the precision livestock app for forward-thinking farmers, and we see our mission to simplify livestock farming, helping you and produce and market more profitable animals with higher welfare and less waste. And that really is a long way of saying of helping you be more profitable, and basically making you better at what you do. So this evening we're talking specifically about suckler farming. We're doing a giveaway, so if you hang around to the end, we're going to pick someone from the participants list at random, and we'll send you a tablet holder for your crush mode, a Breedr beanie, and some touchscreen gloves to use. So hang around to the end, and if you're watching on Facebook, make sure you sign up on Zoom. Do use the chat and the Q&A function. If you've got questions as we go through tonight, do ask them. And remember, we're running a way to win competition. So if you weigh 10 animals between November and the end of March, you'll be automatically entered into winning one of 2 quad bikes. So if you are thinking of getting weighing, I think that's a pretty good reason to get going. And also, if you sync your BCMS, we'll send you a voucher, a £75 voucher, and a hat like this, or like a beanie, which are very warm. So this evening we're talking about how you can use Breedr from cradle to grave to basically improve your herd. And if you don't already have the Breedr app is available for free. You can download it now. Just search in the App Store or the Google Play Store for Breedr Livestock, and you can create your accounts. If you've got multiple holdings, it all works across those multiple holdings. And if you've got multiple users on your farm, maybe it's you and your partner, or you've got you're a very large farm, you've got a couple of workers, you can invite them all into your farm to access it. Our support team are here to help you at any point. But the first thing is that once you've got your BCMS connected, you're able to see that you've got all of your animals there. But when you have a new birth on the farm, in fact, I'm just going to switch business units. You can have lots of different business units. So if I just switch up to farm 1, the first thing, when the app works online and offline. So let's say you're in the shed, right? It's calving season. It's February. My calves are hitting the ground from February, middle of February. And when I have a new birth, I'm going to be in the shed probably in the morning. I'm just checking around. I've got a new birth. So the first thing that I'm going to do is create a birth. So I click on the create birth button, enter in the passport number. So I'm not going to do a real passport number. Actually, am I? I've got a real one here. So do ask questions as we go through, guys. There is the chat box or the Q&A box as well. If you're on Facebook, I'll have to answer them afterwards. So type in a passport number. So we've got 262523400. 350. So Breedr's telling me that is a real passport number. We do a little calculation to make sure you're not putting it in wrong. If I was putting an EID tag in, which this one happens to be, I could scan that with a stick reader, and that would then enter that EID in, and that would stay with its animal for the rest of its life. So 350 is its visual ID, sex, it's male, date of birth today, the breed. Well, you know, I've got Red Devons on my farm, so you know we've got to put something like that in, haven't we? So we've got a Devon here. Dam. So what you can do here is come in and either scan the EID tag of the dam, or you can come in here and you can select the dam. You can see lots of these cows are heifers, and what I'll show you in a minute, when I've added this animal will become a cow. So 452. Write down its visual ID. So yeah, that's the right animal. Sire. So we've got some pre-listed numbers of sires in here. If I had to add another one, I could. So I'm going to add Ian Wheel. I can add a group as well, so that I'm putting this animal into the 2020 calves, and then I need to add the location. So if I've got multiple holdings, I need to tell the location it's done. When it's done. So this is the legal part. So this is just legal. You just need to do this. But what you can do after you've done that is then enter in some advanced calving information. So this allows you really easily on your farm to start picking out trends. So it might be a trend around nutrition. It might be particular sires or breeds on your farm. You might find a pattern. So I'll show you where you get this information out in a minute. But let's say, so my farm average last year was 38 kilos. Never have to touch a calf, normal birth presentation. The calf was average size, no abnormalities, and it stood up pretty quickly. So we just click save and continue. And then that birth is then being created, and we can see that animal straight away. So we can see that animal straight away. Here we can see at the top, see it's marked as a bull already. So what that has done is, because Breedr syncs with the cloud, and we have a web portal as well as a mobile phone app, that's created a BCMS movement. If we have BCMS push enabled, a BCMS movement appears on the wrong farm, that's why. So a BCMS movement appears here, so we can see registrations. So we can see the animal that I've just created on my mobile app is already here to be approved. So what I would do is I'd then click you know, here, and I'd send that movement to BCMS. So there you are, create that movement, there it's gone. Then a couple of days later, I get sent a passport. So it really is that easy. So we've tried to make the record keeping part of cattle really simple, so that you can focus on all the other really important stuff, you know, like getting more performance out of your animals. So likewise as well, when you're moving animals onto your farm, it's as easy as scanning a passport. So what you can do is you can scan the passport using your phone camera, and then it populates all the information. So we've tried to make all those aspects really easy. So we saw a minute ago that I added this calf to the dam 452, and it's not updated yet, but in a minute the sex of this animal will update, and it will go from being a heifer to a cow. So then we can see here it's already gone to a cow, so 452 is now a cow. So that then Breedr automatically updates the status of your cows and heifers. And then also, if I then show you the bull calf we looked at a minute ago, if I say, okay, well, I've added a castration ring from birth, so I'll just click here, castration, and method is ringing. So then this then updates the status of the animal. So you can see here, it's gone from being, I can undo that activity, but also you can see here, it's gone from being a bull to being a steer. So we've tried to make like little bits like this as easy as possible to do. And so little things like that. We've got a couple of questions, so I'm going to answer those now. So a farmer has asked, can you edit them again before sending to BCMS? So if I just show you, there are a couple of things you can do. So if you're doing a move on, for example, you can edit the dates of that move, so you can change the date. or you can abort and reject the movement, which then resets it. With creating a registration, it's more complicated. So you can't edit it, but what you could do is reject it. And then that then deletes the animal, and then you could recreate the animal with the right information. Or let's say you've made a mistake on 5 animals. Our customer support team are on the other end of the phone to be able to give you a hand. So I hope that answers your question. If not, do ask again. I've got another question here. Can you link to Pedigree softwares as well to register births? So at the moment, we are working with Breedplan through Abri, and a couple of the breed societies to be able to send births. We are to direct them. We are a couple of months away from that. We're not quite going to get there for this calving season if you're a spring calver, but if you're summer calver, we might. So what we can do for you is an export. So if your your breed society needs a specific export, we can help work on that. So these reports are pretty easy for us to do. So we might be able to look at that. So the farmer who's just emailed me, messaged here, if you email me, james@breedr.co, we can have a chat about what that might look like, an export for your breed society. But we will one day link direct, I promise. So another question from somebody is, my old man currently uses a different management system, which I don't like as much as Breedr. Great, thank you. But I haven't got him fully on board yet. If I add a birth and birthing details and he syncs it to BCMS from his system, will it automatically update on my system show it's been registered? So yes, completely. So you don't have to use Breedr to do BCMS movements. So what you do is when you create your account, you'll be prompted to add your BCMS details. You do that here, and that just downloads, just connects. We don't send anything. You have to then opt into here to send movements. So what your old man can do is carry on using his system to do all of the movements. And then every morning when BCMS updates Breedr, the animals will just appear, and you can do all of your weighing, all of the medical stuff, and not have to worry about it. So I hope that answers your question. Keep on asking questions, guys. I'm going to carry on talking, and then I'll read the rest of the questions that are here. But do carry on asking questions, because it's just me tonight. I need an excuse to be able to have some water, so I'm not talking for half an hour non-stop. So now you've created your animals. What you want to do, what I think you should do, is start organising your farm. So if we pop back to my farm. So this is in Breedr, you can have access to multiple farms if you've got a very large farm, or if maybe you're part of a supply chain. So this is what groups look like, and we've also got fields as well. So if we just talk about groups a minute, these are all on your mobile app too. So all your groups are available on your mobile app as well. What we can do is when we create a group, we are prompted to add a target. So when we create a group, we're prompted to add a target. Now, for me, my target is I calve at 23 to 24 months. So I need my calves to do 1 kilo a day, a minimum 1 kilo a day, throughout their first 450 days, so that when they get to turnout, and I put the bull out in May the following year, they're ready to take the bull. Now this year I was a touch under on 2 heifers, and one of them was an absolute disaster, and the other one we'll see. So for on my farm, if I'm calving at 23, 24 months, I should be more ruthless. So what you do is when you create the group, you can add a weight target and a date, and then you can set the type of animal. So and we've got breeding stock, calves, coal cows, and pets. And why that's important is that in Breedr we have a predictive algorithm. So what we're able to do is, because we've got access to all of your farm data, and we've got access to lots of weights from other different farms, we're able to show you a conglomerated algorithm of that shows you predicted growth rates on your farm. So we can see here, this dotted line is the prediction of what this animal will weigh in a couple of months. So actually I haven't weighed this animal in a while, so we're past that. But this predictive algorithm is really useful when you're starting looking at picking replacement cattle, particularly ones that are struggling. So if I show you 166, which is the heifer I talked about, where it's a bit of a disaster, we can see here it's never quite performed as well as it should. So well, that means then it's not quite hit the targets we want it to. So guys, do ask questions, keep on asking questions. So how do you get weights into Breedr? Well, there are a couple of different ways to do that. So one way is if you're coming from your existing system, you can upload a spreadsheet, and the customer support team can help you do that. That's really easy to do. If your old man likes using a piece of paper and you just want to upload a spreadsheet every week and just look at things like the predictive algorithm, you can do that. One of the cool things about Breedr is that we link directly with various true test wayheads. So here's a true test wayhead, and what you can do is that you can come in here and you can link directly via Bluetooth. So into the app, and then so this is what we call crush mode. So this is, imagine you're by the side of the crush, and you've got an animal walking into the crush. The weight comes on, so 100, to 167 kilos. That's what it says on the screen here. So that's come straight across from the phone. Or you could also type in here manually. So I could also type a weight in here manually if you don't have a Bluetooth wayhead. You could scan the EID of the animal, or also you could do it like this. You just search for the animal. And what Breedr is telling me is this animal is growing at 1.8 kilos a day. Its daily live weight gain is increased. It's growing much better than it was before. And these are its number of days of farm, its dates. So what we've tried to do is we've tried to make data recording really easy. And the easier we make it for you to record data, the more often we hope you do it. But also the more often you do it, the more valuable it is to your business, because the more insight you can pull out. And you can also add activities here. So if I wanted to add a medicine, let's say this animal wasn't growing very well, and I thought to myself, okay, well, it needs a little bit of alleomycin or something. So what I can do here is just pop out the crush mode. I can add a bottle of alleomycin. So I come in here and I can scan the QR code, and then Breedr's taken across the date of purchase, the batch number. This bottle's out of date, otherwise it would have taken over the expiry date as well. And then when you then are back in the crush mode, which you can get back to really easily, you can then just really easily add that medicine that you've just added to your medicine cabinet. Just a simple touch of the button. So it makes, like I said, the more easy it is to record data, the more often we hope you do it, and then the more valuable it is to your business. Now, people often ask me, how often should I weigh? I think for calves, there are a couple of key, really important dates. For me, it's the first 100 days, so weigh at 100 days, and weigh at 200 days, and then weigh upon weaning, wherever that is for you. I this year did not weigh my cattle this summer with lockdown, and I really regret not doing that. So I weighed them in May, and then I didn't weigh them again until sort of the middle of August, and basically that heifer had not grown at all. So you can see here it's actually done really well. It's grown 1.5 kilos a day. It's done brilliantly, but then I didn't weigh it over the summer. We had drought, grass wasn't great, and it just stalled out. So my advice is, when you're weighing young cattle, 100, 200 day weight is really important. And then when you've got cattle that are weaned, every 6 to 8 weeks, I think it's really important. If that's difficult for you, I understand that. That would be my advice. Sort of what would the ideal be? I'm sure people disagree. If you disagree with me, that's totally fine. And I understand that for some people it's very difficult. This year we've got an extra 55 acres, which is away from our home farm, which is going to be really difficult to weigh at. So I might not be saying that at the beginning of the thing. Oh, one of the other things to show you as well. So when you come to log a weaning of an animal, you can come in here and then you can log an activity, log activity. There are lots of different activities you can log, but another important one for us is weaning. So you can log a weaning, which then puts a note against the animal record, and then it allows you to analyze the dam performance, because then you can see when the animal's weaned, so when it's moved off from mum to onto something else. So a couple of questions. Did you say this is all free to do, or if there's a cost to use Breedr for BCMS movement? So yeah, at the moment, and we have no plans, everything you see in the Breedr app is free. We see this as an investment in your farm. We see this as an investment in British agriculture. This app has cost millions of pounds to develop. And the way that we want you to one day use the app is to trade with us. We're talking more about that at the end, but you know, we see this as an investment in your business, and so yeah, the stuff you see in here is free. So I hope that answers your question. Another question here: is it possible to enter the weigh competition now? Yes, go into your barn, go and pick 10 cattle, weigh them, and then weigh them again in a month's time. There's still time to enter. You have to have weighed twice by the end of March, and at least 10 cattle. The more cattle you weigh, the better your average is going to be. So, you know, try and weigh as many as possible. So I hope that answers your question. And I've got another one here. Can you see calving intervals for individual cows or an average for the Hardwood breeder? So we actually had somebody messaging about this today. Calving intervals is definitely something we want to be able to show you, because it's a really important number. So we are working on a little report, which will be in the report section under breeding, which will show you that exact information. The way that we'll be able to do that is pull off BCMS. Because of our connection with BCMS, we'll be able to pull that data off. So you'll be able to log into Breedr and be able to see that. So I hope that answers your question. We don't have that now, but it's something we're doing. So I've shown you sort of 3 really easy ways to record data. Advanced calving data when the animal's born. You know, record a rough birth weight, record the presentation. Easy to do, and allows you to build up a big picture of the problem cows in your farm. You'll find them very, very quickly. And in the summer, when you've forgotten about that hard calving in the middle of the spring, you'll think twice about keeping that cow. Second thing, making it really easy to keep things like your farm organized with the groups, and looking at the predictive algorithm. Third thing, medicines. Fourth thing, how easy it is to weigh. And then why do you record all of that data? So at this point, you've recorded quite a lot of data. And what should you do with it? Well, there's a couple of different things you can do with it. So we've got in Breedr lots of different tools. So one of the things you can do is download all of these. So if you're a data buff and you want to download all of your data, that's fine. We make that really easy. In fact, if you want to download your data and go and upload it into another system, that's fine as well. So just click this button and it downloads a Excel spreadsheet. Another thing you can do is come down here and download all of your animals. If you just want to, you know, take them out again as well, it gives you a different view of the data. And any of our widgets like this, if you go to the 3 dots and click download and then download CSV, which is an Excel spreadsheet file. Because we believe that this is, you know, data, you spent the time recording it, you should be able to take it out and do whatever you want with it. Within Breedr itself, we've got quite a few different tools. So we've got a data team, and they can record lots of different things. So this is the farm performance report. And what I want to show you is just my 2019 and 2020 groups. So I'm going to click Control. I'm just going to click those. No, I'm not. I'm going to do that. And then there we are, unselect. So this then shows me, I'm doing this wrong. Hold on 1 second. Another question. What do the coloured boxes and current weights mean? Indicate, please. Sometimes an above average weight is shown as red. So a couple of things about that. So we'll pop back here. So you see here, we've got different colours. So basically, green is your top 10% of the animal at its age, and the red is bottom 10% for animals at age. Green is the middle 80. It does take a little bit of time to update. So if you maybe weigh at 10 o'clock in the morning and then you check back at 11 o'clock, might not have just updated. But the idea is this is an indicator of where your animal is sitting weight for age. It's not daily live weight gain. It's where is this animal relative to the rest of my farm at its weight for age. And that then gives you an indicator of where there might be a performance issue that you want to follow up with that animal. So if I do here age, I can see here that 166 is flagged as red. 157, the heifer I showed you earlier, is flagged as green. So the bigger your farm, the more useful it is, because obviously on my farm I've only got 30 cows, so you know the bottom 10% is not a lot of animals. But the more animals you've got, the more valuable that is. So I hope that answers your question. So just popping out to the farm performance report. It's not Control, you press Shift. So if you want to select these 2 groups, okay, why can't I do this? Because so we are. So you select these two groups, and then so these are my calves from last year and sorry, from 2019, which are now calving now, or just about to calve, and my calves from last year, which are weaned. And then we can start looking at here for weight for age. So we can see that last year's calves struggled around this time, that their weights were down. But then this year's calves are really, at the moment, are performing much better. So the hope is that this year's calves are ahead of where mine were last year. We can start looking at things like this, age in weeks. So we can see when I wean, it's this dip here. So I wean quite late. I think next year I'm going to wean earlier. And then you can see also then when I turn out, and there's a real boost in the growth there as well. So what this is showing me is that there is a general pattern and trend. So we've got the minimum weight, the maximum, and then we can see the sort of the middle. So this allows you to start comparing different parts of your farm. We had a very large suckler unit use this report a couple of years ago, sorry, about a year ago, and what they found was that they had a plateau around the 40th week, because what they were doing in 1 week is weaning them, housing them, and then weighing them. And the weaning and that weighing was a separate thing. So basically they were handling that animal 4 times in the space of a week, and they just absolutely wiped out their daily live weight gain for about a month. So what they now do is that they wean, and then they wait a couple of weeks, they house, and upon housing they also weigh at the same time. So they've cut down the number of movements, and last year they found that their daily live weight gain wasn't knocked as much. So there are little things in your farm that you know that you do that you can use reports like this to really pull out. So you know, likewise as well here, we've got sire offspring. So if I show you, we've got these different down performance reports, and I'll show you those in a minute. But what this allows me to do is look at daily live weight gain per sire. So I can see here that Wolfson Goliath, my bull last year, sorry, Wolfson Goliath down here, its average was 700 grams a day across his calves, whilst they were under 12 months. And then this year's bull, Tommy, he's so far is doing much better, and we've used him again this year. So the hope is that you know, this number will increase. But on your farm, you know, you might have 10, 12 sires. You might have lots of data. So I'm only relatively new to farming in the last 3 years. So the more data you have, you can upload into Breedr, the more useful reports like this become. There are loads of reports. I cannot go over them all in the time we've got together. So we can look at things like min-max at different ages. And then also I really like this chart, which is directly comparing where your animals sit relative to their age. So I can compare last year's calves with this year's calves, and I can see that my spread is much smaller. So you can see I had one here that was all the way down at 251 kilos and one all the way at the top. And although I don't have the same top weight, I've got a much lower spread, and that's what I want. I want more consistency, and also all the way up here as well, we're very tight. So that's what I want on my farm. I don't mind that I've got red Devons. I don't mind that I'm not hitting the top weights, but I'm a small farmer. I want consistent small cattle. That's what I want to do. So we've got loads of other reports here. I will just open up the DAM report whilst we look at some other questions. So I'm a little thick. I'm sure you're not, but can you use any type of scan reader, AgriDent, which I already have for my sheep program, and how do I transfer it to the app? So you know, you're not at all. That's a very common question we get. So on the website, if you go to features, measure, and then we've got a nice little crush mode video, and you go explore crush mode. And what we have on explore crush mode is a little table that shows you, and this is all available in our help center as well. So anywhere in the app, you can access the help center. So you could type in here Easy Way, and then it would give you a load of articles about the Easy Way 7i. And then if you have any questions, you can click send message. But this table here shows you the bits of equipment that we connect with, and we don't currently connect the AgriDent reader. We are adding this month the Allied Weighing Series X weighhead and the Allflex RS 420, and next month we'll be adding the Gallagher HR5, but the AgriDent one we're not currently linked with. If you want to drop me an email, james@breedr.co, with the model number of your stick reader, I'll make sure it's added to the list. We've got a big long list, and the more people that ask for connections, the quicker we work on them. In fact, actually, so that's just a blanket. If you have a piece of equipment you want to link to Breedr, drop me an email with its name, and I'll make sure it's added to the list. We have a lot of stuff to go through, but the more people who ask them, the quicker we do them. So we are adding some more this month. And if you have got sheep, that is something we're working on. So you will be able to have sheep in Breedr, and it's a bit of still a little bit of a way off. So, but we are working on that too. So just head back to the dam report. So this is all the dams on my farm. The 2 represents the number of calves that animal has had. So for example, this animal here has only had 1 calf, so we can sort of discount her as an anomaly. But we can see here this one has had 3 calves. And you know, her daily live weight gain per calves pretty consistent, 860 grams a day. Not the world's best, but you know, she's had 3 calves now, probably pretty reliable data. Now down here there is a clear one that is not performing well, 181, and she headed off at the end of last year, because we could see that basically her calves were not performing at all. So we've shifted her on, and you can use this information for the culling report. You can also compare it with advanced birth information, so you can start to pull out trends around that as well. Which is really important to do. There are loads of reports. I could literally spend an hour going through every single one, but what I'm trying to tell you is that there is a value to recording this data. So that's really important too. So one of the other things we're launching in February, which you can get involved with now if you want, is the ability to sell live animals. So here we have some live listings in Breedr, some trades which have already been agreed. And these are all available on the mobile as well. So you can come in here and you can see lots of different trades. And if we pick one of my own trades, we can see lots of information about this animal. So when you click on this animal, you can see the sire it is. You can see daily live weight gain, customer current estimated weight. And this is really allows you, when you're buying livestock, is to be really sure of what you're buying. You're buying cattle with credentials, and Breedr will stand by the data because we stand by the farmers who add it all into Breedr. And the reason why you'd sell through us is because, you know, we've got some of the best buyers in the room. Some of the best beef farmers in the country use Breedr, and they all want to buy cattle with credentials, with data. So if you're interested in being involved in getting started this early, we're launching this in February. But if you want to get started now, you can drop me an email as well. So we can email the trading team. So guys, do ask a few more questions. We're coming into land now, I promise. If you've got any more questions, do let me know. So a couple of things we're releasing this spring, specifically for sucklers. We are doing a pregnancy status that links to a PD test. So you know how when you added a calf, it went from being a heifer to a cow. We'll do the same thing. So there'll be a little status icon when so you can see which animals are and aren't pregnant. And then also when you log a birth, it'll get rid of that status. We are adding a calving alert. So one of the things that we added a while ago was alerts. Being able to add an alert to an animal record, which then sends you a notification, and you can also find animals with alerts really easily. That might be you add an alert for all sorts of reasons, but we're adding an alert. So when you do your PD test, you know, if you know you've got 100 days until the calving date because you wrote down the bulling date or something, you're able to add that. And then also we're adding several new breeding reports, so a calving intro report, a fertility report, and then also a calving index one ready for the autumn when you start looking at replacements. How do we get carcass data onto Breedr if the kill sheet isn't received as a CSV? Well, we have a very clever chap called Simon who's built some PDF readers. So if you send cattle, I'm going to commit to this, if you send cattle to Dunbeer, ABP, which is an email rather than a PDF, or Woods Heads and Pickstock, which are PDFs, we're able to read those for you. We don't have that available in the front at the moment, so you're not able to access that. You will be able to, you see the import data center. We're going to add more and more systems into this, and you'll be able to drag in the file. But if you email that file to support@breedr.co, and the team will be able to we've got a PDF reader which reads off it, and it works for Pickstock, ABP, Dunbeer, and the Woodheads is a CSV. So I hope that answers your question. But we will add those to the front. Likewise as well, if your system's not here, you can click on this button here, which is custom import, and it allows you to upload a custom spreadsheet, and you can select the tiles. I can't open that file, so but you'll be able to select the column headers, so it's very, very easy to do. So if you have any more questions, oh yes, has this been recorded? Loads of interesting stuff here. Would like to watch it again at a slower pace. Well, I'm sorry that I speak very fast. I'm often told I do, but yes, it's recorded. We will drop you an email round with it tomorrow with a link to the recording. So I need to pick someone at random. So there are 16 of you here. So if I go to a random number generator, and we will pick someone at random to win a prize if you weren't here at the start. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Oliver North will drop you an email. Congratulations, you have won a tablet holder which will get that fits your tablet. A Breedr beanie, which are fleece lined. These are incredibly warm. I wear these I wear this one every morning when I'm doing the cattle. And some touchscreen gloves to use with your Breedr app. So I will drop you an email, and one of the team will get it to you. So does anyone else have any other questions? I hope this evening has been useful for you. We are back again here in a month. We've got a finisher one next week. So if you're a finisher, we've got one all about integrated supply chains and building relationships. But the sucklers, we're back next month. We have another question. Are there any plans for better data recording of animals sold live weight? It looks great for selling dead weight for kill sheets, but live weight is a bit sparse. So I don't know if you were here a second ago, but I was just showing you this brand new tool, which this is the project that I've been working on for the last 6 months. But this is the ability to buy and sell animals live weight. And maybe if we just jump into a little bit deeper. So what you can do is here, you can create a listing. You can do it on your mobile too. Well, I'll show you how you do it on your mobile. You come in here, create a listing. So you give it a name. So we've got 4 stages, 4 really easy stages. Create your listing and wait to get offers. You'll get multiple offers, hopefully. Your listing's good. And then you can reject and or accept the offers that you want. You can message the person giving you an offer. They might ask you things like, can I get an Arctic in your yard if you're selling a lot? Would you mind meeting me, in a service station if you've only got a couple of stores or something? You can do, and then what will happen once you've accepted that offer, they'll be prompted to send a secure payment to Breedr. So we'll hold that money, make sure that you're going to get paid for your animals. We will then help organise a haulier if you're doing a haulier, or help organise the logistics. Once you've sent those animals and the buyer has said we received those animals or we've seen them move the animals in BCMS if the buyer's not coming back, we'll send you that money, and you don't have to worry about that. And then the data heads over with, so if you've added things like vaccinations or weights, that then moves to the person who's bought those animals. But importantly, which I think is really important, is that when the animal is then slaughtered, if it's slaughtered in the Breedr network, we'll then send the carcass feedback back to your app. So you'll be able to see the carcass feedback on calves that maybe you sold 18 months ago, but that allows you to start thinking about, okay, well, was that the best genetics? Could we do, grade it out as an R3L? Why is it grading out an R3L? Why isn't it higher, or why isn't it less? Is this the best feed efficiency? But that allows you to really think about the animals that you're producing. The better the animal that you're producing, the more the person you sold them to will pay for them. So when you create a listing, it's really easy. Title, the farm location. You can select as many animals as you want. You can just check they're the right animal. You can also filter on them if you want. I've done this all too fast and upset the system. And then you can put in a price, add photos, been eating grass, and then we've got some terms and conditions. Breedr trading is free for a period of time, so you can use this without any service fee. Really important about TB and moving cattle around the country, so we're really encouraging people to make sure they buy from their same area. So if you're low risk, buy from low risk. If you're a higher risk area, buy from your own area. So we don't move cattle from high to low, and then that will be sent to the Breedr network. And like I said, we've got some of the top beef farmers in the country. In fact, there are some people here right now who I won't name and shame, who I think are genuinely some of the best beef farmers in the country. So and they're on Breedr. So we've got people buying cattle all the time. We, these listings have all been listed in the last couple of days. And these were listed literally like a day ago and they've already sold. So this is launching on the 1st of February. You'll be getting an email about it. If you're signed up to Breedr already, you'll be getting email about it hopefully tomorrow or over the weekend. So do look out for that. If you want to upload stuff that because also you might not have been asking that. You might have been asking about logging a sale activity. So there are 3 ways you can log sale activities. You can come in the app, log activity. Hold on. So you go into the app, you can click log activity. You go down to financial, and then you can put in live sale, and then that allows you to fill out all the details, and then you create a movement when you move that animal off. You can upload a spreadsheet. You can sell through Breedr. But then also, actually, I haven't said this, we haven't actually done an email about this, you can now add activities on the web. So you can come in here, I've selected these 3, and then I can come in here and I can log an activity. So you can log a sale activity, live sale activity, to all the animals or to individual animals. So if you've got different prices or you sold everything at £400 a head, whatever, you can log that activity here. Or if you wanted to log that you had weaned your load, this is how you do that. So actually, we haven't told anyone about this, but that's a feature that's available in the app today. So anyway, I've talked for far too long. Is there any other questions before we depart? Oh yes, sorry, I was meaning fat animals sold in live marts, but the trading app does look bloody good. Excellent, I will take that. Thank you. Yeah, so it's difficult. Lots of people say sell live to thrive. We have some great deadweight contracts. So if you're interested in selling deadweight, get in touch with us. Trading at breedr.co, but likewise as well, I can see why you might want to sell deadweight. Breedr, that we do buy cattle. We do have our own cattle as well. So maybe that's something we can look at. So, but just get in touch with us. It'd be great to chat to you. So I see no more questions. In Facebook, if you've asked a question, I'll come and answer it in a minute. So yeah, next week finishers, we're talking about integrated supply chains and building better relationships. And then next month, we're back together again. I want to talk about unlocking the value of your infrastructure and using your sheds in the summer. So how do you maximize the value of your shed space? I have a special guest joining me as well, so it's not just going to be me. And we're not just going to be talking about the app. We're going to be talking about some business opportunities for you. Yeah, if you have any questions or any feedback about this series, or the app in general, or you want to get started with Breedr, you can email me at james@breedr.co. And congratulations again, Oliver, and we'll get that package out to you as soon as possible. So yeah, thank you for your time, guys, and I hope you have a wonderful evening, and look out for updates about Breedr live weight trading shortly. So thanks, guys. Speak to you all soon.